feel like this is a very chaotic hold. Handle's right there, but I'm just blatantly ignoring it. It's just Sagittarius things. Today, we are talking about top surgery. I am getting top surgery on July 21st this month. I like how I just forgot my own surgery date. Wow, really, it's not like I've been waiting 10 years for this. Yeah, I'm making this video so that I can just share what's going on. There'll be 3 parts to it. This is the first part. The other 2 parts will come later. If that wasn't already self-explanatory, we are going to go over why people get top surgery, the process of getting top surgery in Victoria, Australia, and also the cost that is associated with getting top surgery. Before I start, as always, this is my experience of being trans. It's not the same as everyone's, and while the information I hope to give today is in some way general, the cost figures, for example, the process is very specific to me because, as you'll find out, there are a lot of variables that go into it, but hopefully this is just a little pocket bite-sized resource for people to get in. So here we go, I'm making it. Let's crack into it. So for those of you who don't know what top surgery is, it's essentially a reconstructive surgery on the chest of a person. It just is a surgery where there's a couple of different techniques and you just go in, you remove the breast tissue, excess skin is removed, and then it's kind of all sealed up. Probably really butchering my description of this. So there's a couple of different types. You can have low scars, which is underneath the nipple placement. You can have mid scars, which kind of go like, you know, like a line through the nipple placement. You can have a different type of surgery, which I'm not sure of the name of actually, which is where if you already have a very, very, very small chest size to begin with, it's kind of like a keyhole surgery, so there's no large scarring left, and your nipple is normally, your nipple is kept in place. With the low scar placement and the mid scar placement, what you can do is you can either get your nipples completely removed and not put back on, or you can have a nipple graft, which is what I'm doing. I'm getting the low scarring. So if you imagine your chest, you've kind of got your nipples here and the scar is going to go underneath my nipple placement, and I'm getting a nipple graft. So what they do is this is really graphic, so please click off if you're not comfortable. They cut around it, they might need to resize it depending on your areola size, and then they basically are like, you know, like essentially just stick it back down. I don't know. I don't know what they do really, and I'm not game enough to kind of look up what actually happens. It's like flat chest surgery essentially. However, there is quite a process to it, which we'll dive into. So the first thing that I want to talk about today is the reasons that I am getting top surgery. This is why I'm doing it. It's not why everyone does it. A lot of people will be able to resonate with why I'm having top surgery, some people won't. But anyway, the reason I am getting top surgery is because I have gender dysphoria that is in part related to the physical presentation of my chest. So obviously I was assigned female at birth, and then so I started to go through puberty and my chest started to grow, and I found myself suffering with a lot of dysphoria around that. One of the first times I can remember feeling very uncomfortable with my chest was in primary school. I remember that in grade 5 and 6, seeing some of my friends, you know, get their first bra and kind of be really excited. And I remember really, really specifically like laying in bed at night and just like pressing on my chest because I thought that if I pressed hard enough for long enough that it wouldn't grow. And I'm laughing about it now, but it's really awful. Like I literally would lie there thinking about how terrified I was of like my chest growing outwards, that I was like physically pushing on my chest being like, no, 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 this isn't gonna happen to me, I can stop it. And like, obviously it didn't work. So, you know, I've had a long history of chest related dysphoria. So that's the first reason that I'm getting it done, because, you know, it's not a nice thing. It's not nice, just not, no, it's not me really. Fundamentally, it's not me. Yeah, when I picture myself in my brain, that having a chest that is not in essence a masculine looking chest is just, it's just intrinsically not me. It's very hard to explain, and it's very hard to say out loud and convey the emotion out loud of just why, when I look at my chest in its current form, having not had top surgery, it feels so foreign in a way. It doesn't feel like it doesn't belong to me, and I don't hate my chest, but it's just not me. It's just not me. That's basically the first reason. The second reason is that I consistently bind. I'm not wearing a binder today because I'm at home, whatever, but I consistently bind with a binder, which I will get and show you. This is my little binder. It looks like a sports crop top. You can see the back is worn out there. Basically, if I flip it inside out, it's made of like an elastane material, so a bit like swimmers. But then on the front panel here, which I can't personally see, but I'm sure you can see the seam here. So there's a front panel that's sewn into it, which is a taut material. I'm not sure what it is. It's probably cotton. And in essence, when you put this on, it flattens your chest. Duh. But the reason that I'm getting top surgery after the whole chest dysphoria situation is that these are great and they do the job if you do it safely. If you take regular breaks in them, you know, don't wear them for an extended period of time. You can't exercise with them on, which is like a huge thing for me because I exercise a lot, and so you're not supposed to wear this. You shouldn't wear this when you exercise. So it's like, how can I go out in public and feel comfortable exercising without a binder? I don't and I can't. So another thing is as well, like, you know, I want to wear low cup tops and not have to worry about a binder being in the way. I want to wear sleeveless things without it showing through. I want to be able to go down to the beach and like rip my shirt off, you know. I want to be able to do those things, and I don't want to go my whole life having to wear a garment under my clothing to have to do that. What can happen is if you don't wear them correctly, and even if you wear them for a long time correctly, it can flatten your breast tissue, which can then cause other problems, and you can just kind of see how it would potentially cause you issues that you would still need to deal with. So for me, having top surgery is something that I have been considering and have wanted to do since before I even thought it was a thing. I was like, I don't like this, I want to fix it, and now I'm fixing it. So cool, it's pretty simple. So the process for getting top surgery can be extremely unique to your circumstances. So I recognize in my process, it was very simple, it was very streamlined, it was very straightforward, and I am in a very privileged position to have private health insurance and also have a pretty uncomplicated medical history. So the process of getting top surgery is the next part of this video. To start off with, you need to go to a doctor, so your GP, and you need to ask them, hey, I want to have top surgery, can I please get a referral letter? And they will then give you a referral letter. They might ask you if you have a surgeon in mind, and if you do, you can say the surgeon's name and they will then address that letter to that surgeon, or they might say, here are the surgeons, check them out, come back to me. But I, for example, am going with Andrew Ives, Dr. Andrew Ives in Victoria. He seemed like the best person for my surgery. So once you've got that letter, you need to book in for a consultation with your surgeon. Then you'll go to that consultation, you'll talk about what you want. They will then give you some information on the type of procedure that they are recommending for your chest, and then from there they will request you to get what's called a WPATH, which is essentially a psychological assessment of you, and that is because for them to do the surgery you need to be diagnosed with gender dysphoria by a psychologist or psychiatrist. This happens for a number of reasons, and I think the issue is really complicated, but in a very generalized explanation of it, the item numbers for top surgery are covered under a medically necessary item list, and on top of that, because you need to be admitted into hospital overnight, you are admitted under a psychiatric service. I mean, you don't stay in a psychiatric hospital or anything like that. It's kind of just the way that Medicare in Australia has categorized this type of surgery. So for them to perform the procedure, they need you to be assessed with this psychological condition so that they can then proceed with the surgery. Now, I don't agree necessarily with that process. I think that it's slightly gatekeepery, but in any case, it's a pretty straightforward thing to go through. So once you get that information, you need to book in with a psychiatrist or a psychologist, probably most likely give you a list of recommendations. Once you do that, you need to have those sessions with that mental health professional. They sometimes do 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions for this particular WPATH form you need to have. For me, it was quite straightforward. I actually only had 2 sessions. Once you've got that, you send that form to your surgeon again, and in the meantime, you'll have another consultation with them most likely, where they will confirm what kind of procedure you want. You'll kind of sign a form to agree to that procedure. You'll pay the deposit for that procedure, and then you'll only need to go to one more appointment with them, which will be your pre-operative appointment, and that's where they'll go through any questions. They'll double check that you've got your WPATH in. They'll give you any other information that you might need, and that's about it really before your surgery kind of kicks off. The process from that initial referral to the surgeon to the date of your surgery can be anywhere from 8 months to 2 years to 3 years. The reason it can be so long from that first GP appointment to your surgery is for variable reasons. These surgeons and healthcare professionals, there aren't many of them in Victoria or in Australia, in fact, that can deal with these issues and that can do these surgeries. So Andrew Ives is one of a few surgeons in Victoria and in Australia that perform this surgery and are reputable amongst the community. They have long waiting lists sometimes. The psychologists and psychiatrists that are recommended are the same because the surgeon often recommends you use one off the list. They're getting a lot of people through all the time. In turn, those mental health professionals can sometimes also have waiting lists. I had my initial GP consultation over a year ago. I had it, I think, in 2018, and then I bit the bullet finally and decided to get surgery in late 2019, which is when I rang and I booked in an appointment. Maybe it was October, November, and they didn't have a initial consultation appointment for me until 2020 April. I was waiting 6 months for an appointment. So from April to June, I had all of those appointments, which included my second consultation, my preoperative appointment, my psychologist appointments, all that kind of stuff that came in from those months. And now we're in July and I'm going to get surgery on the 21st of July. So it's a bit of a process. You know, it's hard for me to say like, oh, you know, from A to B, it'll be like 12 months or 6 months or whatever. It's really, really hard to tell. So now that we are kind of on the same page about how to go about accessing top surgery, I want to run through the costs of it because I think this is particularly something that I found personally confusing. Number one, obviously every healthcare professional has their own fees. Number two, everyone I've spoken to has had different health insurance, different levels of health insurance, no health insurance for this but not that. And also it can be a bit of a workaround trying to clump all of the costs together, particularly when really, for me, the best information I found was in Facebook groups, and I got that information through reading heaps of threads and kind of putting it all together, and even that I had a hugely skewed estimate. So I'm just going to break it down for you. These are my top surgery costs, and they don't include any costs that I have gotten post-surgery because I haven't had the surgery yet. So I'll update you with any differences to the cost when they come up in the future videos. So here we go. This is what my top surgery has cost me so far. My initial doctor's appointment to get the referral was $80. My consultation fee, which included the initial consultation, the second consultation, and the preoperative consultation, cost $300. My WPATH appointments cost me a total of $420 for 2 sessions. However, it must be noted that these were at a decreased cost because they were a telehealth appointment over Zoom because of the pandemic that's happening right now. My surgery deposit was $500. My procedure and surgeon's fee was $6,500. My anesthetist, is that how you say it? I don't know. My anesthetics fee was $2,100. And then that leaves us to discuss my hospital fees because I am in an extremely privileged position to be able to afford private health insurance, which in my case, the level of cover that I have with Medibank Private, it means that I have got, as far as I'm aware, no fees to be paid for my overnight stay in hospital. The only thing that I can see that I need to pay for like my hospital stay is a $25 admin fee, which I will pay on my admission to hospital on the day of my surgery. So if my math is correct, the total is so far $9,925, which comparatively to a lot of people's fees is very low. This figure doesn't include rebates, and we'll probably get on a few items that I've just listed here. I know some people who have had surgery and the total process has cost them close to 20 grand. I also know some people that have been able to do the whole start to finish for under 5 grand at the end of the day. I will give a updated figure once I get all the rebate and everything like that in my future 2 videos, probably in the 3rd one. Yeah, I'm very lucky that I have been able to afford it. Hopefully that has come across as quite simple. If you had no idea what top surgery was or is, I hope you know what it is now, but if you didn't know what it was before you watched this video, let me know that you found it informative. If you've got any questions, you know where to find me. I'm on Instagram. Oh, I've got a podcast called The Grind Refined, so you can find that on any platform that you listen to podcasts on. It would mean a lot if you could check it out. We shit talk. It's a comedy podcast. Don't take it too seriously. We don't. I think that's it from me. I often forget things. I should probably write them down. Have a cup of tea on me. Enjoy yourselves. Get out in the sunshine and the fresh air and the drizzly cold rain that Melbourne is giving us right now. But until next time, I've been Rudy. Goodbye.